Hello everyone. Tonight we glide past the plush drapes of history's finest sleeping quarters, into spaces where candle flames dance on burnished metal, silhouettes lengthen upon damask surfaces, and hushed confidences resonate more powerfully than sovereign commands. But do not idealize it prematurely. This isn't the streaming service edition of court existence, not at all. You are soon to discover that intimacy within regal residences. It's seldom secluded, frequently diplomatic, sometimes peculiar, and truthfully, quite breezy. Now, prior to proceeding, consider this. You likely won't endure this, not sentimentally, not communally, and absolutely not should you attempt closeness with an individual beyond your rank. Regal closeness wasn't merely a personal matter. It was communal spectacle enveloped in responsibility, ritual, suspicion, and roughly 17 tiers of lace. Therefore, before settling in, pause briefly to appreciate the footage and join the channel, but solely if you truly value my efforts. And share your location and current hour locally. I'm curious whether you hear this as dawn breaks in Oslo or moonlight bathes Manila. Now, soften the illumination, perhaps activate a fan for that gentle ambient murmur, and let us gently commence this evening's voyage together. The chamber feels chillier than anticipated. Regal homes, particularly Northern European ones, weren't sealed for coziness. Rock surfaces, lofty roofs, and expansive panes admitted more cold than heat. You aren't nestled within a snug retreat. You're traversing a room designed to awe guests, not foster tenderness. There's a hearth nearby, yet it snaps more with ritual than tangible warmth. You're enveloped in brocade, not comforters. And beyond your door, at minimum 3 individuals anticipate your next action. Regal sleeping quarters weren't secluded as we comprehend privacy now. Guards linger just outside. Attendants, chambermaids, and messengers wait in adjoining spaces. Some even slumber steps distant should you summon. The sleeping platform itself might perch elevated. It could boast hangings, but they weren't always closed. And depending on the century, you mightn't be solitary during your closest instant. Correct. Within numerous royal customs, especially medieval and early modern Europe, completing a regal union constituted state business. Therefore, verification was essential. Occasionally, this implied a loyal servant waited beyond the door, listening intently. Occasionally, it meant physically scrutinizing the linens come sunrise. And most awkwardly, it implied standing inside as it occurred. Envision that. You're abed, perhaps anxious, perhaps 20 summers old, perhaps never romantically this near someone. And there sits your uncle's counselor nodding gravely from a chair. Hardly romantic, yet even alone, the palace wasn't designed for quiet connection. Candles flutter in wrought holders. You scent tallow, fragrance, and moist wool. Elsewhere, a rodent rustles behind a wall hanging. The bed protests loudly, not merely from age, but because it's massive and crafted more for exhibition than ease. The bedclothes, perhaps silk, perhaps not. Depending on period and nation, even royals lacked consistently lavish bedding. In Tudor England, for instance, linens were rarely refreshed, and commodes sat steps from the bed. You recline attempting focus, yet every exterior noise seems spectral. Court gossips already murmur. The strain to succeed, to conceive, to suffice as consort and leader, it's immense. Your partner, perhaps a stranger, perhaps speaking another tongue, perhaps equally frightened, perhaps elder than your sire. Yet, you're required to fulfill the obligation. Because this isn't just coupling, it's succession, the endurance of a lineage, a fusion of realms. Your form isn't wholly yours, it's a state resource. This solitary deed should cement pacts, generate successors, and ideally spark affection. Simple. And recall the attire. In numerous epochs, disrobing wasn't swift. Corsets, fastenings, sleeves, garters, shifts. It was a layered procedure needing help. Odds are someone aided your undress, then lingered as you entered bed. Contemplate that. The shift from courtly robe to bare exposure wasn't seamless or seductive. It was performative. It was commonly overseen. It was optimistically uncomfortable. Yet not every palace was frigid, nor every royal austere. Within Mughal palaces of India, for example, design stressed warmth, sensuality, and lush environs. Courtyards open to moonlit pools. Perfumed oils saturated the air. Silk cushions and cool stone floors rendered pleasure more feasible. Still, even there, rank and obligation governed the bedchamber. One curious small fact, in certain French courts, the regal bed wasn't merely for rest or sex. It was literally a stage. Courtiers congregated mornings to observe the ruler wake, attire, and occasionally breakfast abid. Sometimes even a favored mistress was spotted departing, provoking murmurs and lifted fans. You were perpetually observed, even asleep. And here's a contested nugget. Historians still dispute how much physical closeness between royals stemmed from genuine yearning versus ceremonial necessity. Did Louis authentically cherish his many paramours? Was Catherine the Great's famed hunger political slander, or truth amplified through rumor? Academics probe letters, journals, and secondary accounts seeking fact beyond embellishment. Yet, in a world where seclusion barely existed, we might never truly grasp. So as you lie upon this immense regal mattress, the cold nipping your nose and duty heavier than the velvet tester, you ponder, was this truly worthwhile? Is authority ever alluring when burdened with so many conditions? And how much easier would this feel if you could simply secure the door? Therefore you lie within this cavernous bed, resisting shivers, resisting thoughts of the valet, likely listening past the drape, and perhaps, just perhaps, seeking the faintest flicker of enthusiasm for the person beside you. But before intimacy commences, you're expected to endure a sequence of odd little ceremonies. Because in royal palaces, nothing occurred spontaneously, not even ardor. First, cleanliness, or their closest attempt. If imagining a calming bath with candlelight and petals, reconsider. Regal washing varied wildly by era and region. But numerous European nobles notoriously mistrusted excessive bathing. Indeed, some believed water invited illness through pores. Therefore, instead of regular washing, many royals masked scent with heavy perfume, lavender sachets, or shifting undergarments, presuming they recalled. Your preparation might involve light dusting with rice powder or musk, your breath sweetened with wine-soaked herbs, or your wig recurled with hot irons faintly reeking of singed hair. That is if fortunate. More commonly, you stepped into bed slightly perspiring, coated in fabric residue, and bearing your court's hopes like a leaden cloak, and that's merely physical readiness. Mentally, you'd been primed since infancy to view sex as either sacred or strategic. Depending on location and era, you might have prayed before entering. In 17th century Catholic courts, confessors frequently guided newlyweds to request divine favor before consummation. Some took this gravely, transforming tenderness into obligation tinged with guilt. Yet it wasn't all gloom and incense. Some courts embraced sensuality profoundly. Consider Ottoman harems, where rites prolonged anticipation. You might be bathed in rosewater, massaged with scented oils, robed in embroidered silk, and instructed in flirtation. An entire system existed. Ritual, choreography, and suspense, culminating in a nuanced dance of display and delight. That noted, women here weren't invariably free. Concubines, consorts, even cherished wives often competed for favor like courtiers battling policy. And let's not disregard astrology. Indeed, before slipping beneath those embroidered sheets, some royals consulted stars. Court astrologers were often tasked with determining the most auspicious moment for conceiving an heir. If the moon was misplaced, better postpone until Thursday. One French noble allegedly abstained from his spouse an entire month because Mars was misaligned. Imagine that reception. Regarding pressure, this entire episode was likely documented. In some courts, particularly royal weddings, officials logged the date and hour of consummation. Why? Should future disputes over heirs arise, evidence was desired. In Tudor England, nobles might be summoned to attest the marriage was fulfilled, even without witnessing. Rumors still swirl whether Henry VIII's marriage to Anne of Cleves was truly completed, or if he merely found her unappealing and invented an escape. Spoiler: official documents clarify little. Meanwhile, people nervously paced outer chambers awaiting news. Maids were prepared to collect linens mornings, seeking proof via blood. Midwives might be summoned weeks later to inspect the bride for activity signs. It's monitoring, not seduction. And here's the twist. Many rituals concern the public more than the couple. In early medieval France and parts of Spain, the royal marriage wasn't final until the bride was undressed and led to bed by female witnesses, while males escorted the groom. They didn't remain for the act, but waited outside, and everyone anticipated hearing something. Motion, laughter, perhaps applause. If you've experienced stage fright, imagine that, with a kingdom's future at stake. Now broaden our view to a lesser-known but profoundly strange tradition: fertility relics. In specific Catholic courts, childless royals were urged to sleep near sacred objects, saintly bones, holy oil vials, or even apostle-penned letters. One Spanish queen allegedly kept a finger bone beneath her pillow seeking divine aid. Effectiveness doubtful, creepiness extreme. Naturally, historians debate how earnestly these rituals were observed. Some suggest symbolism, ceremonial insurance. Others believe they reflected royalty's deep fears and hopes, especially with dynasties hanging by threads. After all, failing an heir meant titles, alliances, even peace treaties could collapse. And let's not overlook the emotional toll beneath pomp and perfume. You're a person expected to blend craving with statecraft. You might be young and terrified. You might be older and weary of the game. You might feel nothing for the person beside you. Yet the rituals persist. Powders are applied. Prayers are murmured. Sheets are drawn like stage curtains. Because in royal palaces, sex wasn't just private. It was theater. It was fate. Therefore, as the final candle dimmed and velvet bed curtains enclosed your shared space, you didn't gain peace. You gained a meticulously orchestrated rite. Part magic, part performance, part bureaucracy, all for a future you didn't author. Now imagine the curtain barely drawn. Embers fade in the hearth, and you're finally mercifully alone. Or so assumed. Yet just as your hand brushes your partner's robe, there's the faintest noise. A shuffle, a breath, perhaps a cough. Because in a royal palace, you are never truly alone. Not sleeping, not bathing, certainly not during vulnerability. Welcome to the unsettling realm of bedchamber witnesses, personal attendants, and lurking eyes whose entire duty was hovering near your intimacy as etiquette permitted. Some witnesses were purely symbolic. Certain traditions had nobles merely escort newlyweds to bed, toast their union, then politely depart. But elsewhere, especially among Tudors, Habsburgs, and Bourbons, bedchamber staff didn't merely hover, they slept in adjacent rooms, occasionally with direct access through open doorways or curtained arches. Even when feeling solitary, someone was usually whisper close should you require fresh linens, wine, or assistance confirming an heir. And these weren't anonymous maids or faceless footmen. Many were trusted confidants, nobles themselves, or lifelong family servants raised alongside the monarch. They possessed names, titles, and excessive knowledge. The gentleman of the bedchamber in British courts, for example, was a nobleman assisting the king's dressing, undressing, and remaining nearby for urgent needs. Not necessarily sexual, concerning power, proximity, tradition, yet creating an atmosphere where nothing was entirely private. Picture expected passion while your childhood tutor listens outside. Then there were ladies in waiting. These women weren't decorative companions. They were embedded surveillance, often managing the queen's wardrobe, health, and moral purity. They could double as unofficial spies for kings or rivals. Should a queen be suspected of infidelity or mere affection for the wrong person, her ladies might be questioned, bribed, or pressured to report. A glance, a missed cycle, or a tearful night could trigger whispers and threats. They weren't merely ladies, they were living rumor mills with corsets and sharp ears. One peculiar court tradition originated in France, where the king's daily routine, including bedtime, was semi-public. The liver and coucher ceremonies involved courtiers observing the king wake and retire. High-ranking nobles might even assist his undressing or tucking in. Sounds innocent, yet layered with centuries of court politics, it became more theater than habit. Sex in this world wasn't vanished for, it was tracked. There's even an 18th century Austrian case where Empress Maria Theresa kept detailed records of her children's marital activities, including bedtime and success, not from prurience but because producing heirs was state business. Romantic, right? This perpetual observation created a paradox. Royals lived surrounded by luxury, yet utterly deprived of intimacy. They possessed everything. Soft pillows, warm fires, gold-threaded robes, yet never true privacy. Every whisper had an audience, every moan might be heard, every decision involving silk sheets or forbidden lovers could end in a rival court's letter. And then there's the truly bizarre. Some royal couples were legally obligated to prove consummation before witnesses. Among the most infamous, Margaret Tudor's marriage to James IV of Scotland. Several nobles reportedly accompanied the couple to their chamber and waited awkwardly outside until certain the deed was done. Occasionally, priests were present to bless the act, or worse, observe it. Though most reports are second-hand and dramatized, their existence reveals much. One curious Scandinavian detail: a tradition called the bedding ceremony involved newlyweds being undressed and dressed by their entourages, kissed goodnight by onlookers, then tucked in, often with an audience watching shadows. These ceremonies were half pagan, half political, and entirely nightmare fuel for the shy. Yet not all surveillance was direct, sometimes architectural. Palaces featured secret passages, spy holes, and one-way doors. Places like Hampton Court or Fontainebleau had corridors allowing staff, even enemies, unseen movement between bedrooms, galleries, and meeting rooms. Should someone wish to know who visited your chamber late, they didn't need a guard. They needed a hidden staircase. Historians still debate how much was real versus exaggerated. Some scholars argue the most invasive customs faded by the 18th century, replaced by symbolic gestures. Others believe surveillance culture remained entrenched, hidden behind etiquette and ritual. Regardless, the result was identical: an atmosphere of constant tension where passion lived under scrutiny and privacy was fleeting. For royals, sex was never solely desire. It was entangled with politics, duty, reputation, and perpetually observed, passion became no wonder. Many monarchs sought secret lovers, coded letters, and midnight trysts. Even kings and queens needed moments solely theirs. So you lie in your gilded bed, curtains drawn, fire low, breath barely audible. And somewhere in darkness, a servant shifts weight on stone, a page scribbles in a ledger. And the walls, those opulent echoing walls, listen. Stating royal sex was political is one thing. Its stark reality emerges. Learning people were occasionally expected to perform it like a contract signing, formal, devoid of spontaneity. Because in the glittering world of crowns, consummation wasn't just encouraged, it was mandatory, recorded, and occasionally witnessed by officials. Seriously, proving marriage legitimacy required not just a ring, but physical confirmation. Welcome to the profoundly uncomfortable domain of publicly verified sex. Breathe deeply. This is where your body ceases being yours. It's a diplomatic instrument. You've just married into power. Habsburg, Bourbon, Scandinavian dynasty rich in consonants. Your union represents two nations, two fortunes, or two bloody centuries of feuding merging. Everyone watches. Hopefully not during, but bedroom events ripple continents. In especially intrusive traditions, newlyweds were escorted by a full entourage to the bedroom. The bedding ceremony was serious business. In medieval and early modern England, France, Scotland, officials accompanied couples to bed. A bishop might stand bedside blessing the union. Witnesses, high-ranking nobles or family, stayed close, sometimes same room until appropriate noises were heard. Some offered wine. Others stared ceilingward mortified. Whatever specifics, the message was clear. This isn't romance. It's your duty to make heirs, and we ensure you don't fail. If traumatic, you're not alone thinking so. Historical chroniclers found it awkward. Accounts exist of royal couples so terrified they lay side by side, whispering, pretending. Others, pressured by hovering witnesses, rushed the act to conclude. One French noble wrote a bride trembled so violently during her public bedding maids physically held her down until the audience departed. And without room audience, pressure persisted. Often, attendants or physicians examined bed linens next morning for consummation signs, typically blood. This relied on flawed, misogynistic assumptions. All virgins bleed during sex. Men always perform flawlessly. Should sheets lack proof, couples might be interrogated, separated, or annulled. But if the act didn't happen, if the groom couldn't perform, if the bride resisted, blame usually fell on the woman. She might be accused of coldness, witchcraft, or failing wifely duty. In Spain and France, kings failing consummation often endured humiliating public hearings where doctors and theologians speculated on royal failure nature. Picture 17 hearing bearded men debate your hip width. One bizarre performative consummation occurred 17th century during Marie-Louise d'Orléans' marriage to Charles II of Spain. Charles, famously frail and likely infertile from inbreeding, was expected to produce an heir. When he failed, Marie-Louise was blamed. Examined, interrogated, she eventually died, likely from stress and illness after years of scrutiny. Her womb, they claimed, failed Spain. There's also the disturbing case of Marguerite de Valois and Henry of Navarre's 1581 marriage. Their wedding night reportedly mattered so much, Marguerite's mother, Catherine de' Medici, demanded confirmation. Marguerite hinted servants and officials lingered outside while the couple awkwardly obeyed. No pressure, right? But these public confirmations weren't just fertility. They were legal insurance. Should king or queen seek annulment, they had to prove non-consummation. Any rumor, doubt, claim of impotence, or reluctance could explode into scandal. Lawyers, clerics, physicians summoned, letters unearthed, servants interrogated. One failed night could destroy a marriage, sometimes a dynasty. Not every royal court practiced such extremes. In Ming China, sex remained political yet private. Emperors had dozens, sometimes hundreds of concubines. A complex system ruled nightly imperial bed visits. Encounters were logged, rarely observed. Yet even there, a concubine's fertility determined fate. Bearing an heir elevated status, failure meant obscurity or worse. Contrastingly, Japanese imperial courts valued refinement. Passion hinted through poetry, robes, incense. Yet even there, producing heirs loomed, and ever-present servants knew uncomfortable truths. One fascinating lesser-known tradition, some German principalities required newlyweds to complete witnessed undressing. Trusted relatives stayed just long enough, ensuring the couple entered bed together. No one remained, thankfully, but they reported back. Spousal refusal meant annulment grounds. Absurd now, yet common centuries. Historians debate enforcement frequency. Some suggest extreme versions rare, reserved for critical unions. Others argue widespread yet stylized, intimidating more than verifying. Either way, kings and queens proving sex lives speaks volumes. You lying beneath tapestries feel none heat, all weight. This isn't personal, it's a diplomatic mission with anatomy. One misstep unravels lineage, land, honor. Stakes high, audience waiting. Someone already writes tonight's events, witnessed or not. Reaching beneath the brocade canopy, a fresh complication emerges. Furniture, specifically the royal bed. It's not merely a bed. It's a disguised throne, stage, symbol, colossal creaky structure prioritizing visibility over comfort. 4 towering posts, embroidered hangings, frame carved with family crests, velvet sufficient to smother lesser nobility. You don't climb in, you ascend, setting the tone. Even intimate, you perform. The royal bed prioritized grandeur. Its height required footstools or steps. Some monarchs, especially France and England, possessed beds so elevated and ornate they were ceremonial furniture. Louis XIV's Versailles bed had its daily ritual. Courtiers gathered watching him wake, dress, even tucked in. So, while imagining cozy connection, you confront a groaning mattress, scratchy sheets, space engineered to impress visitors, not cradle lovers. And clothing logistics. You wear 5, maybe 6 layers. Your corset requires untying. Stockings need rolling. Your outer gown possesses gravitational pull. Your partner wears embroidered nightshirt, possibly wig, perhaps dagger, habitually. Undressing demands planning, patience, one made with nimble fingers. Spontaneity unlikely. By undressing completion, candles halved, enthusiasm cooled. Still finally beneath covers, or more realistically separate linens, wool, decorative throws, protocol confronts you. Sex between royals followed unwritten rules. Certain positions improper, others too wild, animalistic, common. Many courts deemed missionary positions solely acceptable for procreation. Anything else risked scandal if discovered. Sounds absurd now, yet body angles could face scrutiny if servants entered or rumors spread. In conservative courts, even kissing was calculated. Kissing greeted, showed favor, submitted. Passionate kissing a bed might seem lower class. Some historians argue sensuality, actual pleasure, was vulgar if interfering duty. For example, 17th century England noble letters reveal subtle disdain for overly affectionate couples, as if love signaled poor discipline. This discomfort wasn't just social, physical. Royal beds, especially winter, were freezing. Heating inconsistent. Palace walls prioritized grandeur over insulation. You might share the bed yet swaddle separately, sometimes wearing nightcaps or gloves. Warm, bare skin pressing warm, bare skin. You'd fumble darkly, avoiding elbowing priceless pillows or tugging curtains, collapsing the canopy. Now imagine this awkward choreography while maintaining dignity. No laughing, fumbling, discussing mishaps. Act fine. Behave nobly, because losing composure, especially with an unfamiliar spouse, was almost worse than non-performance. In the Ottoman Empire, however, existed more flair. The Sultan's quarters, like Topkapi Palace, were elaborate yet intentionally sensual. Padded floors, reclining lounges, domed ceilings amplifying soft music or fountain sounds. Furniture was flexible, inviting, yet even there, every harem movement was documented, logged, subject to protocol. Concubines didn't wander for cuddles, summoned, examined, pre-approved by eunuchs gatekeeping intimacy. Back Europe, smallest furniture reflected marital status. Take the marriage chair, special seat gifted newlyweds France and Italy, often carved Adam and Eve or mythology scenes, meant to inspire or intimidate. Other bedrooms featured fertility statues, elaborate bedpans, privacy screens, decorative not barriers. Surroundings constantly reminded you weren't lovers, symbols. One delightfully odd fact, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth newlyweds sometimes received a bed clock, timekeeper tracking nights together. Mostly symbolic, yet hard, shaking the image of couples ticking seconds beneath a judgmental, gilded cuckoo. And scholars debate royal bedroom dynamics, true feeling. Emotionally barren, or connection within protocol margins. Some suggest stiff rules allowed affection, others believe lonely worlds where closeness never melted walls between people raised viewing love as political currency. So knees awkwardly bent on a squeaky fortress bed, maneuvering silk layers, maintaining regal posture, wondering if your partner knows better. You shift, the mattress groans dying elk-like, tassels brush unwanted. A clock chimes midnight. Feet placement remains unclear. You might think after rituals, awkward furniture, icy silence, pressure performing monarchically, undressing offers respite, an intimate pause, disarming, disrobing, nearing. But oh no, royal palaces rendered undressing production, slow, ceremonial, maddening, wrapped lace, laced anxiety, padded cloth exceeding Renaissance fair tense. Firstly, you don't undress yourself, barbaric. Trained attendants exist. Entire court rolls designated royal dressing undressing. France had valet de chambre or femme de chambre, hands tying ribbons, fastening bodices, gently removing wigs, avoiding powder collapse. Wedding night? Prepare audience. Traditions sometimes ceremonially undress brides before senior court, ladies offering whispered advice, good wishes, unsolicited commentary regarding childbearing hips or lucky birthmarks. They'd unlace gowns, peel corsets, remove stockings, dispatch you white-shifted instructing unwrinkling because husbands remove that final layer. Romantic. Meanwhile, your spouse undergoes similar. Gentlemen of his chamber tug waistcoats, boots pulled by someone outranking half your home village's nobility. Cravat untied priest handling sacred relics solemnly. Down linen nightshirt. Someone offers spiced wine or awkward encouragement. People discuss nerves, readiness, responsibility, wait while you avoid tripping nightgown. By meeting bed, neither prepared privately. Slightly chilled, overwhelmed, trying appearing 4 people didn't assist sock removal. And layers. Oh, layers. Undress doesn't mean naked. Royal nightwear prioritized modesty insulation. Women wore long chemises or shifts, often sleeved. Men linen nightshirts knee-length, sometimes neck-tied. Possibly bed-capped like sexually nervous Victorian ghost. Undressing didn't end. Corsets might remain fastened, stockings sometimes on. Jewelry carefully removed designated trays. Undergarments possibly tucked waist, depending rank, court customs, attendant scandalization, true nakedness. But layers sometimes part game. Versailles, appearance paramount, power flirtation line, razor thin, undressing became flirtatious performance, well-timed glance, garter loosening, shared chuckle, wig askew. Couples, especially pre-attracted, used ritual slow burn, teasing reveal court, pretended unseeing embroidered walls. Elsewhere, like 18th century Russia, process brisker, less ceremonial, yet layers ruled. Russian winters meant sleeping clothes, side-by-side fur throws, thick muffling sound movement. Undressing wasn't anticipation. Practicality, avoiding freezing pre-kiss. Despite ceremonial effort, no one taught royal couples post-undressing. Formal education lacking, explicit guidance absent. Vague confessor aunt advice, actual knowledge pieced rumors, illustrations, awkward trial error. Nobility shouldn't require teaching such things. Instinct, making moment daunting. Quirky sidebar. Quartz rigged beds, rope systems lifting, arranging mattresses, bedclothes. Pulley beds, functional intimacy. Ropes creaked unmistakably. One Scottish noble account, so embarrassed wedding night bedrope sounds, climbed out pacing hall instead. Scholars debate undressing rituals intent, erotic or court intrusion. Some argue modesty performance mattered, actual modesty. Others suggest ceremony stripped autonomy, turning individuals' monarchy extensions intimate moments. So finally, a bed, half-shift wearing spouse tugging stubborn ribbon, air thick, perfume wax, unspoken tension. Aware every cloth inch between, every sound drifting corridors, every servant assisting now breath-holding door. Reaching finally, realizing palace nakedness isn't simple, layered. Watched, choreographed, melting arms desired, body-shaped sheet still belongs a state. Some point layers peeled, ceremony wins, bed stops, haunted ship groans, thinking finally two people. But Versailles 17th, 18th century? Reconsider. Not royal bedroom, epicenter flamboyant, scandal-riddled, seduction-obsessed court. Sex personal, performance art, weapon, pastime, satin-powdered hair. Welcome French court love, mistresses titled, gossip-structured, seduction minuet choreographed. Navigating marriage, entering world power, traded glances, letters, perfumes, late-night panel wall visits. Dangerous delicious. Basics, Versailles royal mistress practically job title. Term, maîtresse en titre. Palace apartments, staff, carriages, king, access all hours, enemies many. Influence undeniable. Successful mistress, sway foreign policy, relatives promoted, artists, poets, royal circle introduced. Started single ball lover, political advisor, art patron, personal confidant. Physical relationship cooled, remained court, managing correspondence, recommending replacements. Considered tasteful, not uniquely French. Many European courts followed, fewer Versailles flair. England royal mistresses less formalized, equally powerful. Nell Gwynn, Charles II's beloved mistress, famed wit, humble origins, actress, rising charm, cleverness. Reportedly called herself Protestant whore, mocking Catholic rivals. Irreverent humor, king adored. Versailles seduction, gold standard. Not beauty, strategy. Courtiers wrote love letters, treaties, veiled metaphors, coded language, confessed concealed desire. Wrong phrase ruined. Right phrase elevated family generations. Beyond letters, lovers exchanged scented gloves, embroidered handkerchiefs, gilded snuff boxes, hidden meanings. Gifting trinket, starting conversation beneath court's formal smile. Perfume language. Musk suggested desire, orange blossom fidelity, amber daring, worn wanting, remembered presence post-departure. Couldn't approach without smelling dream declaration. Fringe overlooked fact, royal mistresses, published memoirs. Posthumously, letters, journals released painting court life breathtaking bonkers. Anonymous minor French Duke mistress described rotating three lovers, moon phases, astrological advice. True? Glimpse bizarrely structured royal lust. Obvious question, queen? Complicated. Queens expected dignified, dutiful drama above. Aware? Some blind-eyed, others fumed, rare played game. Marie Antoinette knew mistresses powerful, never took one officially. Surrounded flirtatious, fashionable companions fueled rumors, late-night parties, private gardens. Court gossip salivated queen misbehaving. Scandal currency. Real consequences. Royal mistress, child, messy. Child acknowledged, titled, educated, legitimate heirs. Vanished, distant cousin, care. Mistresses became state enemies, blamed bad harvests, foreign wars. Madame du Barry, another Louis XIV lover, executed French Revolution representing public-hated royal excess. Danger politics, Versailles seduction culture, undeniably magnetic. Sex biological ceremonial, aesthetic. Sensuality, lace champagne. Architecture reflected, galleries encounters, alcoves, whispers, mirrored walls, lingering glances. Seduce monarch, wit, perfume, Latin puns needed. Historians argue French court mistress openness, progressive, oppressive. Some say women rare path influence self-determination. Others reduced ornamental short expiration. Truth middle, love letter drawer, ink, faded scent lingers. Tonight golden room, perfume candles heavy, lie spouse invisible, charming, clever, jasmine, ambitious scented, shadow once stood space whispered pillow secrets. Laughter echoes corners, influence hovers, perfume air. Night's royal bedchamber, realizing intimacy, palace suite, whispers, scented letters. Cold transaction, gilded cage, passion storm, tightrope power, powerlessness. Queen mistress distinction obvious, crown wearer, king's ear, lips wearer. Queen's role, court's love, lineage, legitimacy, land. Chosen treaty signed, carefully strategically advisors foreign minister's approval. Body royal estate, pregnancy monitored, childbirth worship launch announced. Job dignified, obedient, fertile. Love optional, pleasure guaranteed. Downhall next bedchamber another woman, no crown, king's attention, freedom. Mistresses court jokes, revealing gowns, poetry debate, wine sip unscolded. Played queen posed, flirt refuse. Queen couldn't refuse, husband risking diplomatic crisis. Strange double standard shaped palace. Queen ice cold bed, court hums, king spent elsewhere. Worse, smile morning. Walk mass beside, host mistress table, toast courtiers watching, practiced smile emotion flicker. Common. 18th century France. Queen Marie Leszczyńska, Louis XIV wife sideline, Madame de Pompadour arrival. Queen fulfilled ceremonial role. King's romantic affections, laughter, political consultation, mistress. Pompadour room above king's chambers, staircase linked. Queen separate wing, practically symbolically distant. England Queen Caroline Ansbach tolerated George II's mistress, Henrietta Howard. Court praised Henrietta's charm, grace Queen's presence. Caroline reportedly quipped, "I don't mind mistress, wish prettier." Sarcasm, only outlet. Royal marriage's tolerance, survival. Mistresses risked, position glamorous, insecure. King's favor fickle, court ruthless, wrong word misstep, mistress fall grace, satin slipper marble staircase fast. Dismissed, exiled, imprisoned, queen lonely throne, mistress tightrope knives. Children escalated volatility, queen birth heir position secure. Failure mistresses children, pawns dangerous political games. Royal bastards titles lands succession roles, legitimate line shaky. Louis XIV acknowledged illegitimate children. Dukes, generals, diplomats. Traditionalists infuriated, ambitious mistresses motherhood, ultimate trump card. Rare exceptions, queens found love, amusement marriages. Catherine, great Russia lovers openly kept luxurious apartments, rotated royal appointments. Court accepted expected, exception rule. Most queens double standard ironclad, king lovers virile, queen lovers threat. Spain, Queen Isabella II rumored multiple lovers, husbands suspected disinterest women. Historians debate rumors, queen's sex life state gossip, king affairs footnotes. Fascinating, tragic, documented queen-mistress friendships. Sometimes got along needed. Madame de Maintenon began Louis XIV, mistress became secret wife, possibly clandestine marriage. Advised state morality, maintained respectful relationships, children previous relationships. Queen dead. Queen-mistress coexistence, dance influence. Dinner seating, first decree glance, ear whisper, queen title, mistress attention. Sometimes worth. Historians debate role power. Queen constraints, influential long run. Mistresses fleeting reigns sway monarch's heart, kingdom direction. No answer, lace jealousy, calculated smiles. Tonight bedchamber, think her other woman. Queen rehearsing smile court appearance. Mistress wondering king choose door. Palace have single fractured story. Official whispered completely visible. Becoming royalty birth marriage body vessel. Poetic, full-blown state-monitored fertility, mandated human womb crown. Producing heir, personal milestone. Job number 1, welcome unnerving royal fertility, sex desire pleasure. Legacy dynasty cold clinical reproduction, pressure romance absent, pressure conceive brutal. Empire survival hung royal couple healthy male baby spares. Wedding veil off, blushing bride, nervous groom. National investment, interest monthly. Courts patiently baby news, opinions advisors midwives, distant cousin removed. Queen menstruation palace gossip, miss cycle half-court knitting, stress fatigue servants exchange glances hallways. False alarm disappointment, tangible recorded ledgers, forget privacy. Royal pregnancies public bump appeared. Courts queen's birth witnesses, people nearby ensuring proper baby switching avoided. France queen's delivery room open, court select members. England discreet not. 1688, Queen Mary Modena birth, James Francis Edward 50-plus people confirming baby. Hospital delivery stressful, labor dukes cardinal bedside, pressure conceive, quickly ideally marriage first year. No pregnancy, medical evaluations, prayers, awkward bedroom interventions. Advisors technique changes, herbs, clergy, spiritual counseling, couple figuring privately. Thing, king blamed, queen, suspicion woman, body carried baby, nothing happening, fault. Husband 70, syphilitic falconry foreplay, blame woman's womb lap. Royal fertility obsessions, strange practices. Early modern Europe, physicians, apothecaries, bizarre fertility potions. Ground antler, dried snake skin, powdered pearls, magical sound, fair game. Women frog skins, bellies, men rhino horn, fortified wine. Spoiler, worked. Trying everything, feel. Sex schedules, intercourse timetables, court physicians calculating fertile days, advising couples duty. Schedules, moon phases, seasonal weather, blood types. Queen failed schedule precisely. Sabotaging royal line. Romance scroll, ovulation calendar, chalk-powdered wig wearer managed. Court's heir spare rule, 2 male children secure. Inherit backup fell horse, smallpox, murdered coup. Constant pressure producing. Queen multiple boys gained power reverence. Daughters failed carry political liability. Worst part, miscarriages, stillbirths, private sorrows. Public failures, emotional weight crushing. Queen Anne, England, 17 pregnancies, no child survived adulthood. Pain immense, expected rule smile, host balls, others children. Losses tragedies, crown disappointments. Eerie Tudor detail, excessive sex pregnancy damaged queen's future child chances. Royal husbands advised refrain abstain intimacy wives heir born. Passions elsewhere, maid lady waiting leaving queen exhausted grieving isolated. Palace machine ground. Queen fertility make break alliances. Male heir seal peace treaty, childless marriage, plunge kingdom succession crisis civil war invasion, pressure sat bedchamber breakfast conversation period, woke wondering belly start end war, historians debate personal affections survive atmosphere, genuine love stories pressure, probably, royal couples defy duty fall love, absolutely, many palace sex tool tests task perform schedule supervision nation outcome. Tonight silken sheets expectation wait sides wonder love dynastic maintenance. Husband hand warm gentle midwife pulse womb activated royal treaty. Royal bedroom sanctuary politics. Stepping carved double doors political arena velvet walls deadly betrayals. Sheets soft motives sharp. Welcome tangled royal bedroom intrigue sex leverage desire dangerous game. Palace walls ears mouths talked. Servants advisors lovers rivals watching slip up misplaced touch late night visit prolonged queen chamber absence. Private moments, data evidence, court factions, fuel, rising falling royal mattress warmth, bedroom access battleground, kings, queens intimacy want, who allowed near when. Versailles certain noble families assist king, dressing, undressing, ritual giving excuse, linger private moments. Closer king's skin, closer power. Hand, nightshirt, adjust, pillow, political favor sign. Too close, liability, threat, affections wrong, touching. Secret affairs, nobles derail marriages, upend alliances, spark military conflicts. Famous case, Queen Caroline Matilda, Denmark, royal physician Johann Struensee, 1770s. Illicit romance scandal, Struensee execution, queen exile, line bed, curtain, hide. Not isolated. Royal court slept, rumored sleep shaped career. Wrong bed, title loss. Right bed, province gain. Lovers, influence agents, bribe, conduits, silk stocking spies. Better, palace layout design make break relationships. Medici Florence, secret corridors, private bedrooms, council chambers, discreet lover informant visits. Russia Catherine, great apartments, hidden passages, lovers, privately, ministers monitor. Whisper sweet nothings hatch conspiracy room. Never truly trust. Ladies waiting reported queens answered factions. Pages chambermaids bribed information entered room stayed. Bodyguards ears loyalty bought. Midnight kiss safe. Letter rival duchess mourning. Bedroom scribes individuals notes royals private behavior. Common succession anxiety monarchs prove deny sexual activity. Scribes corner quill act. Collected stories timings observations rumors records quietly passed ministers foreign powers. Libido state dossier. Tragic casualties bedroom intrigue children. Queen birth rumors loyalty. Child legitimacy questioned. Mistress son suspiciously royal features. Courtiers push recognition disappearance, heir bastard biological political narrative control, infamous unresolved debate, diamond necklace affair indirectly implicated Marie Antoinette scandal fault, forged letter, stolen necklace, woman posing queen meeting Cardinal Gardens romantic tryst, scandal proof public Marie promiscuous decadent actual involvement, palace bedroom intrigue reputation weaponized truth rumors, historians believe wars delayed accelerated bedroom politics. King enchanted lover, side lover's homeland. Mistress, foreign court, fell diplomatic relations, soured. Whispers Louis XIII delayed military actions, please, Madame de Pompadour. Catherine de Medici manipulated France, civil wars, sons love lives. Fringe. Venetian ambassadors, coded journal, French court affairs, geopolitical sex map, espionage, gossip. Game Thrones, wigs, powdered lace. Scheming emotional wreckage. Genuine love affairs, crushed political pressure. Forbidden romances, exile, execution. Powerful monarchs, heartbreak immune. Queen, weep, pillow, husband, betrayal. Mistress, age, favor, alone, cold, distant manner, name, erased records. Tonight, ornate bed, worry, passion. Perception, secrets, silk sheets. Footsteps, hallway, lover, traitor. Chamber, sanctuary, chessboard, someone moved. Politics, performance, realize, missing. Genuine attraction. Chest, flutter, heat, glance, pull, conjured diplomats, arranged bloodlines. Royal sex heirs alliances, gloriously unpredictably seduction, real, messy, heart-racing, body-tingling desire. Palace walls subtle. Seduction royal court straightforward, hey nice, doublet walk. Rules, layers, rituals, orchestra, flirtation techniques, court sensibilities. Spanish wordplay, French perfected, Italian poetry, music, secret hand gestures, English awkwardly charming, pretending looking. Interested noblewoman, musician, bolder, higher rank. Start glances, lingering eye contact, dance touch, hand, passing wine, goblet, shared smiles, corridor, watched, plausible deniability, sleeve, brush, purpose, crowd, gown, compliment, polite, move, velvet, stitched, wrist, question, poetry, letters, verses, cryptic stanzas, folded fans, slipped, chamber doors, French court language, king sonnet, servant, delivering, candied plums, Lady pressed flower scent written reply. Catherine Medici, court lovers, color-coded clothing. Blue thinking, crimson tonight run. Perfume seduction tactic. Versailles Industries signature scents elite. Musk, vanilla, amber, warm, passionate, scandalous. Light citrus, innocence, flirtation. Lovers swap perfume scent, linger skin promise. Palace heavily scented candles, pillows, wigs, fans, olfactory messages, powerful, intimate. Breath, undue restraint, furniture roll. Certain chairs, intimate conversations, low-backed, close-set, curving arms, knees touch. Secret alcoves, curtained corners, whispering posts, nooks, tapestries, chandelier, glow. Designated conversation rooms, unofficial business. Smelled wax, sweat, anticipation. Seduction, jumped, subtlety, extravagant, gesture. Louis XIV mistress, porcelain palace. Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn, passionate, unhinged letters, swooning obsession, switches. Habsburg, symbolic jewelry, lockets, hair, ruby rings, hearts. Royal lovers, commissioned portraits, private drawers, nude, romanticized, risky. Polish, Lithuanian, Commonwealth, nobles, music boxes, custom tunes, secret affairs. Man-gifted box, first 5 notes, shared church hymn, first illicit glance, sappy, effective. Court dances, chemistry playgrounds. Twist, turn, partnered, whirl, fingertips, test waters. Etiquette, don't linger, step close. Broke rules enough, I'm here, see back. Courtly love minefield. Aim high, fail, banished. Seduce, wrong spouse, inheritance revoked, bedroom door nailed shut. Accused inappropriate behavior, life unraveled. Flirty glance, scented glove, cryptic poetry, high stakes, high court. Worked, couples navigated rules, restrictions, fiery connection. Letters, spidery ink, brittle pages, proving velvet gowns, powdered wigs, people felt raw longing expressed creatively. Historians debate seduction, rituals, effectiveness. Truly connection, elaborate rituals, stave boredom, loneliness, gilded cages. People fall love, fall habit? Both neither. Art, seduction, royal palaces, real left perfumes, poetry, whispered promises, erase. Tonight bed, carved headboard, wine lips, candlelight eyes, dinner, glance, breath long, meaning. Tomorrow flower chair, note, mirror, glance longer, braver, whispers, glances, perfume notes, sharper edge. Harmless flirtation, secretive, dangerous, exhilarating, royal world rules, rigid appearances, matter, truth, heart pounding, doing someone shouldn't. Welcome palace, secret wing, hidden door, servant stairs, forbidden, desire, loaded trap. Extramarital affairs, rare royal courts, expected safe, far discreet liaison minor, noble wink shrug, sleep wrong person, husband, brother, wife, maid, foreign ambassador, house down. Dangerous affair, thrilling, clever, rich, brave, deep denial, consequences, architecture. Palaces, hidden passages, servant corridors, concealed staircases, safety, privacy, conveniently midnight rendezvous. Kings, secondary suites, hallway, official chambers, mistresses unseen. Versailles, documented network, private back doors, mistresses, lovers, undisturbed public rooms, quiet. Secret signals, knock, pattern, candle, window, colored ribbon, wrist, romance novel, essential privacy, non-existent. Wrong move, missed signal, tender moment, court scandal, permanent consequences. Risks, staggering, caught, fallout, cruel, immediate. Commoners, royal eye, elevation, destruction. Jane Shore, Edward IV, England mistress, adored king, death, publicly humiliated, walk, London streets, penance, beauty, charm, nothing, royal hand, protection. Nobles, higher stakes affair, exile, annulment, imprisonment, death. Anne Boleyn, tragic tale, infamous end, represents personal desire, collides political paranoia. Guilty affairs accused, historians argue court appearance, infidelity, fatal queens exempt. Queen's affairs dangerous. Child, questionable parentage, threatened succession line, queens, guarded chambers, protected staff, vetted, revetted. Surveillance, queens, lovers, got away, truth, buried, survive. Queen Christina, Sweden, eccentric, refused, marry, abdicated, 28, dressed man, lived, Rome, rumors, same-sex affairs, female companions, emotionally intense letters, friendship, love, political, distraction, never know, secrecy, clings, parchment. Isabella de' Medici, 16th century Italy, fiercely intelligent, charming, allegedly affair, Troilo Orsini, husband discovered truth. Isabella found dead, strangled, bedchamber, official illness, belief, forbidden desire, risk, reputation, life. Secret affairs, tragedy, long-lasting, passionate, loving. Augusta Strong, Saxony mistress. Anna Constantia, fiery, influential, sway, court appointments, policies, diplomatic relations, fell favor, exile, solitude, letters, unanswered passion, hot favor, lasted danger. Physical lovers, secret servants, corridors, messages, servants bribed, blackmailed, betray employers, spy, thrill, candle, flickering outside door, watching coming end. Despite palace pulsed hidden romance, human desire, vanish, danger, adapt, secret languages, secret meeting places, secret heartbreaks, love letters, invisible encoded notes, sleeves, buried gifts, floorboards, loyalty, painted ceilings. Looked historians love digging hidden affairs, details, lost time lovers, clever trace, whisper, spurs poem, drawer, locket, name, pressed flower centuries, fragrant love hidden long tonight, big bed, footsteps, shawl, sneaking bedchamber, forbidden lover, kiss, dark courts, leaps below, secret letter, meet, candles burn, low, royal love. Letters, moonlight, tries political marriage arrangements, silk, pressure babies, herd pressure, produce heirs, strategic coupling, weird, wildly wrong, royaler beliefs, fertility, palaces, bedchambers, expectation, med-ignorance, royal sex, shape, bad sciences, superstition, bizarre medical advice. Starch Royals physicians thought knew human body humors, delicate balance, heat, moisture, blood, phlegmbile nonsense, woman womb, cold, conceive, man, overheated, seed, weak, diagnosis, flushed looks, wheat smelled, royal couples, conception, happen. Timing, anatomy, palace, fixes, aphrodisiac, stonics, diets, prayers, honey, cinnamon powdered, aid, oyster shells, drink, warm facing, East, England. Women, rub, crushed, beetless thighs, France, powdered, unicorn, horn, virility, unicorns, real positioning, medieval, early modern texts, instructions, optimize, baby making, women lie hips raised. Men thrust deeply warm womb, guides insisted missionary position, God design others, ancient Greeks, stars, alignment, baby cursed, curses, royal courts, magical interference, queen conceived, biology spell, Nemesis crown, jealous, nobles, jilted lovers, suspected, hiring witches, curse a royal bed, 17th century France, poisons affair, implicated, nobles, royal mistresses, sprawling, scandal love potion, checks as black masses, influence, passions, powerful, middle-aged love potion, powdered to add bones, mixed wine, administered secretly heightened emotions, subtle infer. Tillage genetic issues, untreated diseases. Simple bad luck, modern medicine, royal strust claimed, understand mysterious workings, Wum court physicians, men, examine a royal couple diagnosis, magician knowledge base, never seen, uterus, Charles of Spain, born intense inbreeding, weak steriline, fertile correctors, bizarre fertility remedies, powder ed antlers, sunlights. Suggested Charles leap, different woman, night, stimulate surprise work, Louis VI, France. Husband Marie Antoinette, years marriage, unconsummated rummers pamphlets, couple of ridicule. Ed Salacious caricatures, Europe truth simple physical condition, Louis Famosus painful condition, prevented full intimacy. Eventually surgery awareness issue, couple produced children, whispers. Versailles midwives, astrologers, stars predict baby sex, measure queen belly, twins, signs, serene tests, win, herbs determine pregnancy, strand, queen hair burn, candle, Kerbo's moke, batman, domen. Polish court queen craved pickled herring, pregnancy, baby wise, cunning craved sweet, child vain craved nothing, changeling, fairy child, Wum paranoid, court 3. At miscarriages, stillbirth, infant mortality, prenatal care, maternal health, pregnancies, terrifying queen seclusion last month's allowed walk, unassisted fear, displacing baby miscarriages, cloaked shame, moral failures, angered, God, mind, wander, duty, historians, debate monarchs, believed page, entry rituals, performed expected trusted evidence, royal couples, desperate to conceive, Strangestramedes medicine, fail shopping, reach shadows tonight, fire pops, chamber hearth, sip nightly, tonus, cinnamon, red wine, dash powdered, opal, wonder, love, duty, the Ader Hopi. Nen tomorrow, astrologer, moon, path, midwife, pulses, mile, ancient, holy word, hair, foreign, princess, palace, gates, courtiers, bow, trumpets, blares, miles, tightly, new royal consort arrives, plucked, country culture, brings bedroom, customs, expectations, secrets, power, disrupt, palace, new intimacy. French-born queen, stiff Spanish courts, candlelize nobility, braces, miling husband, public, Austrian archduchess, marries Italian dynasty, horrifies family, suggesting married couples, leap bed, cultural collisions, awkward tectonic, Marie Antoinette, poster chilled royal die. Disorientation, France 14, Austrian habits, charming, deeply sync, French court protocols, Vienna, personal modest type prized, Versailles wedding night group activity, noble strailing bedchamber bless, sheets unsolicited advice, inspect, mood curtain shopping, Marie body childhood, political object, discomfort conversation. Catherine Berganza, Portuguese princess married Charles VI, England brought tea, English tea reserved, Catholic attitudes, courtship, marital duty, Charles, rowdy lovers, body joke, sexual chaos, best adapt, private tension, enormous bear child, failure, mixed cultural friction. Isolated foreign royals, married unfamiliar, courts intimacy, diplomacy, kiss, shield refusal, interpreted fog, assumptions, national pride, cheek shy, rejecting husband, invitation, personal dislike, country customs, discourage, nighttime visits, full moon for in Queen's King, staff, ladies and advisors, personal physicians, custom showroom, Cold War teams, marriage, wife, people preserve dignity, tradition, husbands demanding assimilate, palace extensions, spilled gossip, hostility, wild story, Anne Cleves, German-born bride, Henry III, chosen portrait, Henry met underwhelmed, unattractive, Flanders mare marriage, consummated historians appearance, cultural gap, and modest reserved upbringing, Henry lusty, boisterous expectations, intimacy, possible fallout, swift annulment, humiliation, exile country, Estate survived, stepped royal bed foreign influence, changed court norms. Louise Elizabeth France married Spanish Bourbon court reportedly introduced French beauty rituals, scented oils, soft bed linen, sexual heated baths upgrades, scandalized rigid austere Spanish court. Eventually standard courtier, visible horror, combing hair, private refused undressed maids, nerve innovations welcome, Russian court foreign-born consorts suspected carrying perfumes, lace moral corruption. Peter Gree. At wives viewed, suspicion acted, confidence, independence, mistress. And German private salons, laughter, music, wine, influences, aversive, dangerous, favor, banished family, publicly shamed language barriers, adduces, pauses, peak language, awkward translator, feed away, hilarious couples develop strange, improvised languages, touch, gesture, barely communicated, unconsummated months, years, gap, bridged, Princess Charlotte Mecklenburg Strelitz married George VI, England spoke English, arrived George German, developed surprisingly affectionate rel, Asianship shared routines, wrote phonetically spelled notes, languages, odds, close accounts, affectionate lovers, royal couples, cultural clashes, scars, bedroom habits, comfort, national identity, pride, foreign queen refused, local customs, arrogant hung, grateful foreign king introduced, intimacy, ritual, smocked fans, whispered Hall historians, debate, foreign queens, changed sexual culture, court scapegoats, bold, different, love, crossed borders, royal palace, change, marriage, bedroom, court, dynasty, king fails, of Chambers, morning break, fast, morning, Audi. Incest ceremonial, blessing, royal slippers, silence, heavy-loaded servants, cautiously, courtiers, glances, aying, monarch, sovereign, divine, virile definition, perform conjugal duties, national emergency happen, historians admit royal impotence, awkward personal political crisis, monarchies, king authority, tide producing or failure, perform bed cosmic flaw, in weakness, curse, ordinary people, quietly ignore monarch advisors, physicians, confessors, whispering ministers, vultures, resolve, Louis XVI, poor guy, public scrutiny, Marianne Antoinette, consum. Ada marriage, gossip, flu, Paris salons, wildfire, uninterested, incompetent, sick, gay, pamphleteers, field day, illustrated guides, royal couple, Louis, mild condition, pain, intercourse, court, public delay, hair, national, embarrassment, fault, business, Louis VI, Louis mistress, porcelain palace, Henry III, manhood, practically kingdom. Itself wasn't failure, marriages, string, miscarriages, stillbirths, questions, King England, self-styled lion, Europe, secretly impotent courtiers, trouble, completing act, increasing weight, festering, ledge injury, unpredictable rage, assigns views, seal, deal, Henry insecure, royal blame, women annulments, beheadings, church reform, starch, religion issues, belt, Charles, Spain, bewitched, severe physical, mental disabilities, widely believed, impotent marriages, children, court obsessed, figuring physician is examined, religious officials prayed, rummers, witchcraft, the Ori hexed womb, cursed, reproduce, understand, sex involved, scrutiny, relentless irony, admitted problem fixed, Habsburg line legs, Europe war, Spanish throne, impotence, royal concern, affected, noblemen, dukes, princess, sexual prowess show, LD power, France, king legally annul marriage, unconsummated medical witnesses, prove unfortunate lords, humiliating examinations, assess performic marriage, assembly fairs involve physicians, clergy, public testimonies, wives, husband, failures, peoples, tud court describe, disappointing wedding night, worser our noblemen demonstrate, virility witnesses, provability fiction, Renaissance Italy, contentious annulment trials, men engages emulated marital activity, court-appointed experts, entertainment law, shame, pressure, invasive bureaucracy, R, Oyal woman, impotence damaging, cloaked, language, husband, perform, wife, blamed, inspire, cold, barren, witch-like queens, desperate, avoid disgrace, agreed, quiet annulments, allowed king mistress, titles intact, fought Catherine Aragon, fiercely denied, Henry III, claims, marriage, consummated, insistence, public survival court, believed, queen husband, impotent rumors, alternative conception, bubble, child lover, lineage, legitimate succession, teetered, whispered, doubts, persistent trummer, unproven, juicy claimed, Danish prince hair, product carefully arranged, fair princess, handpicked, noble reliability, true shows virility, tied dynasty, far people preserve illusion, potency, odd fringe practices, impotence parts, Eastern Europe and obelisk war, magical belts, charm rings, blessed holy men restore masculine power, worn knight, intercourse ring museum, Latin inscription, verdominous strength, lord, desperation, speaks, historians, argue stories, real whispered exaggerations, humiliated discredit, powerful men accusing, impotence, personal political assassination, king perform, rule tonight, fire, lavish violence at J. Oining, sweet movement, royal bed, silence, whispers, low, treacherous, deadly man. Please, wife, king, perform, heartbeat, losing everything, choreographed, ceremonies, whispered, humiliations, curious, begins, women, queens, duchesses, ladies, waiting, stop waiting, chosen, stop playing, passive, powdered, pedestal, perched, role, assigned, stillness, palace layer, staff at to diplomacy, reach, choose, history, loves, crown, kings, architects, desire, royal women, truly lead, rewriting, script, six, power, easy queen, noble woman, show initiative, flesh, risky courts, flirtatious look, brand, indecent, dangerous, unqueenly, dared, shape, dynasties, crushed enemies, Changed rules, royal bedroom, Catherine Great. Ridiculous horse, rumor nonsense, actual woman, empress, Russia, intellectual reformers, strong sexual appetite, patients told Catherine chose lovers. Personally grooming, flirty correspondence, invitations, court care. Younger, noble, clever, loyal, available lovers. Sigh, candy, confidantess, political allies. Interest, pension, title, polite, exit, classy. Marguerite Valois, infamous queen, Margot, France, lovers, numbered, male, contemporaries. Beautiful. All dangerously, smart wars, religion, relationships. Powerful men, broker peace, gather intelligence, ensure survival, sexual freedom, legendary pamphlets, nymphomania, creed lines, Candela, strategical one, England, Bess Hardwick, commoner, countess, married 4 times, wealth, influencer, oil mastery, marital politics, build powerful family, dynasties. Elizabeth and intimacy, bedroom contracts, alliances, leverage advantage repeatedly. England, Anne, Austria, Louis III, France, pious, passive, closed doors, private friendships, emotional connections, edge, proper. I accused affair, Duke Buckingham deny you, trite, untouchable loyal ladies, very correspondence. Coded language reminds Spanish princess accused, risking war bedroom decor. Against exerted power, kings filled chambers. Maps, antlers, masculine pomp, queens, curated sensual sanctuary spaces, plush textures, floral motifs, soothing colors, lighting, flatter, intimidate rooms, rest, display, pleasure, pillows, perfume, music, drift-eyed chamber, subtle control, worked fringe. Fascinating fact, 18th century Italy. Noble women commissioned custom conversations of a slow crescent-shaped divans. Flirtation engineered close technically touching sheer. Curtain ambient harp music, chilled glass, fortified wine, duchess background player, palace deciding state evening Ottoman Empire harem system. Patriarchal dominance, imperial harem, women immense behind scenes, power, bellied sultans, mothers reigning, sultan, influential people, empire, concubines, passive ornaments, learned, court game. Ruthless efficiency, factions, influence, appointments, positions, equal political authority, access rulers, sexual, strategic historians, reclaiming women's stories, peeling male-centered myths, nuanced reality, dangers are. Eel accusations, adultery, destroy instant record shows, royal women, redefiner rules pursued. Desires, carefully, boldly, brilliantly succeeded, satisfy hearts, bodies, bent empires, debate women, Catherine Marguerite, truly enjoys sexual freedom, playing rigged game, prettier cards, relationships, rebellion, survival, depends night, partner, mood, certainty. Women receive affection direct, wrote letters, clever wordplay, selected perfumes, leave trails, purpose, hosted private salons, conversation, shover, scandal, new value, glance, wait, whisper, importantly, wait. Inge invited, bedroom, unlocking door, middle nightly, Inga wake, whisper, echoing eyes, thing, court partner, romances, seductions, candal, inherited expectations, dysfunction, ancient mess, past family crest, etched stone, royal palaces, sex, shape, politics, protocol, haunted sin, Sansa, stores, marry, person, walls, marry, bloodline, family, history, scandals, superstitions, medical baggage, emotional bruises, seepdroom drafts, marble floor, Habsburgs, dynasty, obsessed, keeping bloodline pure, intermarried, centuries, cousin, niece, uncle, family, tree, knots, result. Charles II of Spain, physically deformed, intellectually stunted, accounts, incapable, consummating marriage, jaws, close, properly, tongue, speak clearly, wife, wedding night, solemn success, collapsed, poor governance, royal bed, genetic, dead. Henry III, marital disasters, lusty god, deep superstitious obsession, producing male heir fixation, intense marriages, beheadings, restructuring England, religious landscape, trauma, father seized, power, bloodshed line, age barely survived, civil war, Henry bed, love, battlefields, islands, instability, haunted crown gene, rational patterns, fertility, Louis XIV, son, king, grandfather, assassinated father died, young mother, devout, distant queen, taught pleasure, dangerous, power, divine, Louise, surrounded mistresses, Madame Montespan, Maintenon fathered 16 illegitimate children, wound, inherited, assert life, filled court sex spectacle, thread, someone desperately outpaced fate, families, trauma, echoed emotional coldness, royal children raised wet nurses, tutors cradle prioritized diplomacy, affection grew, adults express love, calculation letters, 18th century germ. And Duchess's heartbreaking consistency, kind, distant speak matters, state, touch, summon, duty, women, unloved dynasties, warmth, curriculum, dysfunctional father-son, mother-daughter, inheritances, stangled queen spawns, foreign alliances, raised daughters, wary, strategist, emotionally armored, Empress Maria, Theresa, Austria, micromanaged marriages, 16 children, Marie Antoinette, detailed advice, cold, clinical behave, bed, please, husband, secure power, childbearing, loved children, trained, world affection, fatal dysfunction, medical kings carried her. Hereditary diseases, porphyria, hemophilia, syphilis, past single night sheets, Queen Victoria carrier, hemophilia rippled Europe. Royal families, generations, weakening Romanovs, crippling Spanish princes, haunting Habsburg, newborn male, romantic, symbolic biology, legacy denial, emotionally stable dynasties patterns, silent marriages, loveless unions, excessive control affairs, repeated generations, echoing footsteps, palace corridors, French noblewoman, diary mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, married 15, ignored husbands, lovers 2. The birthday stot, composed blood, whispered fringe detail, royal houses, astrologer, shired chart, favorable marriage dates, study ancestral charts, worn curse, third son shadow, first marriage, metaphors, legitimate royal anxiety, beds, bloodlines, carried doom fabric, modern scholars, intergenerational trauma, family palaces, family performed, past, reproduced, recreating wounds, lace-draped doors tonight, gilded ceiling, ancestor, skings, queen's bed, patterns inherited, want partner, breathes quietly, ask quiet question, past stops morning, soft knock, servant enters bearing rose water, folded note, silver tray, careful Aki, contact polish practice, gesture tray, Russell silk secret understands aloud, real power palaces sit throne, walks quietly, listens closely, changes his story. Speaking whisper, royal world, people beds no happen, sleep, hidden world, servants, spies, unofficial, go-between, visible hands. Royal affair, failed marriage, secret tryst, whispered confession. Royal touch adjusting bed curtains, love letter folding, page and cried pillows, changing lines, said ladies, waiting, ostensible. Why companions, guardians, secrets, managers, moods, quiet conspirators, dressed queens' beds, sat lonely afternoons, listened, poured frustrations, cold husbands, absent lovers, inconvenient pregnancies, acted liaisons, arranging secret meetings, slipping notes, handmade spies, disclosing information, rivals, foreign courts, infamous Lady Sarah Churchill, confidant, Queen Anne, England, relationship, deeply emotional, possibly romantic. Sarah wielded enormous influence and decisions, public-private bonds, soured, shattered queen stability, Sarah leave poo. Blished private letters, exposing vulnerabilities, published intimacy, weaponized valets, pages, serving kings, dressed monarch, tended meals, escorted bed king company, valets, valet, wrong look overheard, whisper court change overnight, pages, confidants, informants, Luix v. Rain, trusted valets, managed comings goings, mistresses, hidden doors, parco surf, private pleasure estate, servants, passive essential managing time slots, censuring silence, cataloging king's taste hairs, no-name buildings, ships, ceremonial fountains, barefoot window trembling. Kiss supposed world falling, forbidden embrace, heart racing, fear, hope, unknowingly continuing story, palace, shouse power, messy spectrum, human desire, passion, regret, joy, restraint, night, meet eyes, banquet, morning, goodbye, letter sent, marriage, frost, warmth, mattered parts, believe, close eyes, final time, crown, throne, tapestry, family name, candle light, touch, laugh, palace, remember self, spatless thin candles, flickering socks hail, journey wandered, whispered hallways, creaking, four-poster bed centuries, secret letters, forbidden touches, arranged vows, sheer. T.S. beat, public live, dozen lives, queen, mistress, veileth husband, traitor, confessor, witnessed, seduction, suspicion, affection, betrayal, births, breakdowns, brocade, expectation, rest learned, royal bed, chamber, gold ceremony, lived, stubbornly, beautifully, human myths, marvel people, flawed, frightened, impulsive, aching, clever, cruel, lonely, reaching connection, place design, dissolute, glance, ballroom, letter folded pillow, messy, deeply mortal effort, echoes, loudest, see yourself, titles, silks, choices, duty, desperation, looking crown, want, shouldn't stay, heart, left. Risk, kiss bells, hold secrets, greater carry bones, love, lust, memory, regret, royal, real, hush, history lingers, sleep dreams, awfully, story, matters.